Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're an inbound student, a host family, or a coordinator trying to navigate the logistics of studying abroad, you already know that the paperwork can sometimes feel like a giant maze. But today, we are going to completely demystify the IB cross-district travel request procedure. We're taking all the guesswork right out of the process by breaking down the official documentation into super clear, actionable steps. So grab your notebook, get focused, and let's make this procedure incredibly simple to master.
Right off the bat, you'll notice that the official title graphic for District 34070 is completely bilingual. It's presented in both Mandarin and English. Now you might be wondering, why does this matter? Well, it really highlights a fundamental priority of the Rotary Youth Exchange Program, which is absolute clarity across cultures. When we're dealing with international travel and student safety, there is literally zero room for miscommunication. This bilingual approach makes sure that inbound students, local host families, and Rotary coordinators are all reading from the exact same page, literally.
Here is our agenda for today. First, the rules of travel. Second, the four-step process. Third, securing approvals. And fourth, final submission. Let's jump right into Section 1, the rules of travel, understanding the golden rules before you pack. Okay, so before you even think about filling out a form, you've got to figure out your specific scenario. It's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure. If an inbound student is traveling with their host family, guess what? No application is required, you're good to go, just pack your bags. However, if the student is being hosted by a Rotary club outside of the district, an application is absolutely required, and then there's one massive restriction we really need to talk about. Students traveling abroad alone is strictly prohibited. It is a hard, unbreakable rule. Now, you might be thinking, well, what if my parents back home sign a permission slip? Honestly, it doesn't matter. The policy states crystal clear that even if you attach a parental consent form, solo international travel will not be authorized under any circumstances whatsoever. And hey, this isn't about restricting your freedom. It's entirely about making sure student safety is never, ever compromised. Another thing to keep in mind is that your mode of transportation actually changes your paperwork requirements. If your travel, even within those approved scenarios we just talked about, involves flying on a plane or taking a ship, a parental consent form becomes absolutely mandatory. Driving in a car is one thing, but the exact moment you board a flight or a vessel, your natural parents must officially sign off on it. Moving on to Section 2, the four-step process, your roadmap to compliant cross-district travel. Now that we've got the baseline rules down, the journey breaks down into 4 sequential steps for students who actually do need to apply. Step 1, creating your travel plan. Step 2, securing the invitation letters. Step 3, completing the parent agreement. And finally, Step 4, submit documents. This process builds a really clear timeline. First, you and your hosts outline the where and when of your travel plan. Next up, you obtain the formal invitation and guarantee letter directly from the hosting Rotary Club. Then, you complete the outside district travel application along with the parent agreement. And lastly, you compile and submit all that data. It's a totally logical progression, taking you straight from a fun idea to a fully approved itinerary. Next up is Section 3, securing approvals, following the paper trail and required signatures. You know, the biggest bottleneck in literally any bureaucratic process is usually just not knowing who signs what. So let's clear that up. Step 1. The inbound student kicks things off by sending the filled out application and natural parents' consent form. Step 2. It has to go to the sponsored district chair for their official signature. And here is the most vital part. Step 3. The sponsored district chair does not just hand it back to the student. They must take responsibility for returning the signed consent form directly to the final inbox themselves. So before that final submission happens, what exactly does the inbound student need to compile to give to the chair? Well, it's a very precise list of 3 items. First, the out-of-the-district travel application. Second, the natural parents' consent form. And third, the invitation and guarantee letter, which comes specifically from the hosting Rotary Club. Let me emphasize this. If you are missing even one of these 3 pieces, the packet is incomplete. No exceptions.
And finally, Section 4, Final Submission, where to send your completed application packet.
To avoid any confusion whatsoever about the ultimate digital destination, try to visualize packaging up your documents. The out-of-district travel application and the natural parents' consent form stack neatly together with the hosting club's guarantee letter. Once you've got them all compiled into a single file, this complete travel packet is officially ready to be sent off for final processing.
Once everything is signed, sealed, and compiled, the sponsor district chair must submit all the materials directly to this exact email address, d3470yep@gmail.com. Seriously, write it down, bookmark it, double-check the spelling before you hit send. This inbox is the ultimate, final gateway to getting your cross-district travel approved.
To wrap up this explainer, the core mission behind all of these steps is simply ensuring safe and compliant cross-district travel. You see, the paperwork isn't just some annoying hurdle, it's the invisible safety net for your entire exchange experience. So, as you sit down to plan your next big cross-country adventure, ask yourself, are you just throwing clothes in a bag, or are you actually taking the steps to secure your journey? Review your checklist, double-check your documents, and above all, travel safe.